Hello. Okay. So I'm at Planet Fitness again. It's pretty cool. I get to take a walk. See if I have a lighter. Oh, I don't have a lighter. So, only reason why you'll watch this is because um, if you've seen, none of this is gonna make any reference if you haven't seen. Oh, look at that. I got one of these things right here. So this is let's see, not in. It's close to the Burbank Airport, but it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Excuse me. It's just 2 o'clock in the morning.
For your safety, this parking lot is being recorded. Por su seguridad, este estacionamiento está siendo grabado.
So this is my car now. So get to have a massage there, in case you're taking advantage of. Clean up, work. So, okay. You're watching this video because uh, anybody that has seen the Kenai the Magic Academy, it's a lecture series. So, um, if you haven't seen that, none of this is going to make any sense. So, it poses a question. It says, okay, so these are the things that happen to match up between me and the story of Harry Potter, right? And first reference, I go, okay, if the story of a bodybuilder that you know becomes an actor and becomes governor, if that was a fictional story, that three things really match up with the bodybuilder that did that. I mean, it's obviously a story about Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? The odds of that is 3 to 1, or I mean, right, or something like that. So the coincidence example, right? And somebody believes, well, it's still a coincidence. Now, then it goes over the fact that uh, 30 things match up, right? 30 things match up, and they're not random things. And I explained that in the coincidence, portion of the answer. If somebody answered coincidence, it's like, okay. Now, we got to agree that we don't agree to disagree. We're going to agree that it actually is specific things, such as the year she thought of the story of Harry Potter, which was the summer 1990. Okay, which is when I started going to Academy of Magical Arts. Right, it's like, okay, it's the same year, same summer, which is weird. It's not weird. It's a coincidence. No, it's identical. Right? It's like, okay. And then it's like, okay, well, it's the same uh, year, and there's Quidditch with the golden ball, and I'm doing the golden ball routine. And the name of the headmaster, Dumbledore versus Rodor. I mean, these are very, very specific things. And Academy of Magical Arts, if you haven't seen that video, Magic Castle, right? Or it's inside the Magic Castle, but the school is called the Academy of Magical Arts. Okay, and you should have seen that video too. Okay, Academy of Magical Arts. It's like, well, that's academy and school is the same word. Magical arts. It's not magicians. It's magical arts. That's wizardry, and it's wizardry. It's a wizard school. International Society of American Magicians means, I'm sorry, International Brotherhood of Magicians means it's an international organization. It's a brotherhood because most magicians were men, typically. So it's a brotherhood of magicians. Magicians are actors. It's not magical arts. IBM is International Brotherhood of Magicians, and it's not the most. I mean, it's the largest organization, but the most elite is the Academy of Magical Arts. The same thing with Society of American Magicians. It's a society of American actors trying to pretend like they're wizards. Well, Academy of Magical Arts is magic arts. Okay, it's art of magic. It doesn't say magicians. Magicians are actors. So it's the School of Wizardry, and Walt Disney is definitely a wizard. You know, he's part of that school and to all the elites in Hollywood. All right. Um, uh, but yeah, Walt Disney. I mean, if you've seen Fantasia, uh, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, you know, Fantasia. There's Mickey Mouse with Wizard's Apprentice, and even if you watch it, there's a part with all the demons and all that stuff. The demon. Well, the person that created that for Fantasia was like a child molester and a Satanist. Okay, it's wizardry. It's like scary stuff. Okay, it's all wizardry. So yes, Walt Disney is a wizard, and that's that school. Okay, so yes, those are key components. So that's Hogwarts, and I'm the one that actually attended there the year she came up with that concept. And then there's 30 things that match up. Okay, Denise Wincheffel is the #1 female magician, teenage female magician in history. Hermione, right? Oh, she wrote about another fabulous witch, female teenage wizard. No, it's about her. Huh? And just like the story, I didn't get with her. You know, we were working together. We weren't. Uh, we had feelings, but I mean, she had feelings. I didn't. I kept it professional. But she had a crush on me. Okay. And in Harry Potter, he doesn't end up with Hermione. Hermione ends up with somebody else. Same story. So okay. So the coincidence thing. Okay, you should have seen that. The videos to see is um was Hayashi the Real Harry Part 1. And if you haven't seen that, it's spoiler alert, I'm gonna tell you. Basically in that video I go, okay, Harry Houdini and I did Metamorphosis, which is this amazing illusion where boom, you know, the person transforms into the other person, which is supposed to be impossible. So I go, well, did we develop the ability to shapeshift? Or is there, you know, most likely is there a trapdoor somewhere on the box? What's the most likely answer? It's like, okay, now did J.K. Rowling come up with this great, phenomenal story that has 30 things that match up with my story, and she never read a newspaper? And she's doing this, writing this book, epic book, about a kid that goes to Academy of Magical Arts or School of Wizardry. Okay, what's the more likely answer? She never picked up a magazine. She never saw the Emmy Awards. She never did all that. Okay. So everything in her story matches up with mine. 30 coincidence. So in that coincidence, I go that's 4 tridecillion to 1. If 42 with 4, which is 42 zeros. 4 and 42 zeros to be correct. Okay, those are the odds. And I do reference. I go, well, wait a minute. If that's true, that means, like, for example, there's people in this country. I mean, the world believes that. Well, we're the only people in this universe. We're the only ones. There are no aliens. There are no people or life on other planets. It's impossible. So that's the what everyone um, beliefs are, especially Christian. Says no, we were God's children. We're the only ones. We're only 5,000 years old. Which it doesn't matter if there's old dinosaur bones. He gets the preacher still says, well, that was put there to test us. That's their Christians' standing position. And same thing with UFOs or aliens. They go, no. The government says, no, no. Those people that are saying that are all liars, and that's not possible. That's what they teach us in school and America and society. Which is okay, if that's correct, there's billions of planets. I'm sorry, stars in just the Milky Way galaxy, and then there's billions of galaxies. So it's like over Google, the odds of being that correct over a Google. I mean, Google. You know what Google is, right? I hope you do. Google is one with 100 zeros behind it. The odds of getting that right is like one, like over that. By the way, that's where Google got their name. I don't know if you know that, but that's the coincidence thing. It's just like, okay, in order for us to be the only planet, in this world, universe, would be in order for you to be right, it would be like over a Google that you're right, or there may be some planets, some stars that all stars have solar systems, so one of them happened to be able to sustain life. But some people you can't change their beliefs. Doesn't matter if the odds are, 4 with 42 zeros behind it, odds that you're correct. And that's an accurate number. So that's coincidence. And then, Academy of Magic Arts is the Academy of Magical Arts. Is the School of Wizardry, Walt Disney, Johnny Carson, Orson Welles. These are very famous people that have gone part of that school. Uh, it's a secret place, so it's definitely the School of Wizardry, Academy of Magical Arts, and I am the kid that went there. All right, so and I filmed. They filmed it at the school I ended up going to, which is Oxford. Even those three things, boom, boom, boom. Like my parents are written up in the Smithsonian, Guinness World Record. As a doing something that's impossible. They made robot waiters in Pasadena, California, serve food. But not only did it serve food, it told jokes. It played tic tac toe. It danced to Michael Jackson. They don't even have technology like that today. This is 1982. They're famous. So my parents were famous wizards. It's like, how the hell did you do that? Ding, ding, ta-da. So they were famous wizards. I go to the School of Wizardry, and I'm a teenage wizard. I'm the teenage, samurai wizard. And I was a boy wizard too. Guess how how did that robot be able to dance to Michael Jackson and tell jokes and serve food? These are like huge robots. You should see the link of robots that are like this tall, uh, plexiglass dome, white head. You can see all electronic equipment. It's made out of stainless steel construction, and it's like 3.5 feet wide and this tall. Holding food and serving food to the customers. Then it goes on to tell jokes, and then it goes on to play tic tac toe, and then it says, "You want to see me dance, Michael Jackson?" It does that. How did that happen? My dad and my mom are working the counter. How does this robot do that? I made it do it. I made it do it. So I'm in the Smithsonian as this boy wizard. So yeah, I was the boy wizard and the teenage wizard. I'm not a magician doing card tricks. I'm introducing the host of the Emmy Awards. So yes, I'm the boy wizard. I'm the only boy wizard. There's only Shirley Temple and Michael Jackson, and they were not, producing, directing, and you should have also seen the video where I'm talking about I had 25 separate personalities in high school. 25, which included a set designer. So I have a personality where I'm drawing architectural designs and then directing a construction team how to build my designs. That's a personality. It's like, how do you know how to do that? I go, well, I went to architectural classes. I learned how to draw blueprints. So I yeah, I learned CAD. I know how to draw blueprints. So I was like drawing the blueprints, and I knew construction. So I had them build sets. That's a personality. I had 25 of them. I was a photographer, the yearbook photographer. Took a lot of the pictures inside the yearbook. A lot of those are my pictures. Um, I'm a writer. I wrote an off-Broadway play in New York, Eastern New York. Okay, that's real. So my brain was like, okay, I got to be a photographer. I got to be a gang member. I've got to be a dog. There's 25 personalities. If you don't know what I'm talking about, well, you should have read them. But I had 25 separate personalities. I forgot what they were. There's so many. I had to be a speaker. I had to be a fundraiser, the main fundraiser. I had to lead a football team to national championships, doing karate, having them be behind me and win the competition. I had to be the pyrotechnic consultant. I mean, not I had to. I mean, I volunteered, I did it. Well, I didn't volunteer, they asked me to do it. So I had to be 25 personalities. That's why I was known as the boy wizard, the teenage samurai wizard. Okay, so I'm it. Shirley Temple's not known as the wizard. Michael Jackson is, but he wasn't a teenager when he was known as the wizard. He became a wizard afterwards. He left Jackson 5, and then he did his own thing. Yeah, up until, when he was a teenager, yeah, he was part of Jackson 5. That's who he was. He wasn't doing his own thing. He was just doing the routine that his dad made up. He's not building sets, being a pyrotechnic consultant, writing a play in New York, speaking at the Emmy Awards. I mean, like, Michael Jackson didn't do that. So I'm known as the boy wizard. Okay, my parents are wizards. I'm the boy wizard then. I become the teenage wizard. I'm going to school wizardry. I wonder who the story was about. That's 3. There's 30 things that match up. All right. So, anyways, I really do need to talk to people that are logical thinking. Like, what are the odds that somebody says it's a coincidence that those 30 things match up? And they're not minuscule things. They're specific things. There's only one Academy of Magical Arts. There's only one School of Wizardry. That's it. The alumni is crazy. Okay. So, yeah, and I'm the only member there that has 10 Emmy Award show titles, especially at 17, 18 years old. So, if Arnold Schwarzenegger was a bodybuilder, because an actor becomes a governor. I wonder who that story's about. Scott, you know, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Well, my story is beyond 3. It's not even 10. It's over 30. Over 30. I stopped counting. All right. So, anyways, yeah, just wanted to share that. Thank you very much for listening. Uh, this is on anybody that insists it's a coincidence. You didn't see the other 3 videos, so check those out. That's was Hayashi Real Harry, which is part 1. What's more realistic? I think it's part 2 that is about, is Magic Castle Hogwarts Castle? Well, it answers it. Yes, it is. It is. Okay. And I'm not the top wizard there. Walt Disney is. Johnny Carson. Okay. They became really famous and made tons of money, obviously. I wasn't doing it for the money. Okay. So, and then number 3, I don't know what the video number 3 would have been. Oh, are magicians, have magicians been depicted in movies? And, well, these aren't magicians. These are, what they call wizards, because it's Siegfried and Roy and David, Chris Angel. Siegfried and Roy, Chris Angel. They're basically depicting them, which they're both wizards. Chris Angel, he had his own TV show, Mind Freak. That guy's a wizard. He has a show, or still does, in Las Vegas. And then there's Siegfried and Roy with the Tigers. They're wizards. Okay? So no, magicians aren't wizards, and those guys aren't magicians. They do magic tricks, but they're wizards. All right? So we're all part of that organization. We're all part of that school. Okay? There's only one school. That's it. We're all part of that society. Academy, that school. Yeah, just wanted to get that out there, because there are some people that, even if the odds are 4 trillion to 1, that, yeah, it's just a coincidence that 30 things happen to match up. All right, even if 3 things match up, it's like, well, it's an obvious answer, and I'm the only one. There's no other kid that did that. Okay. And if there was, which there isn't, if there was, does the kid has 25 different personalities? I had to play a dog. The next thing you know, I'm also an acting coach in New York. Those are like 2 different personalities. Okay, so you're playing a dog and then an Indian that murders another human in it, and as also a southern a southern dog sled owner that has a gun and shoots the dogs, and talking with a southern accent, walking on stilts. I did that, and in the middle of the performance, I didn't even bow. I jumped in an airplane, flew over to New York, and I had to be an acting coach to Daniel Day Kim. I didn't even get to finish the number or bow at the end. Those are like 4 personalities right there. I'm an acting coach. Daniel Day Kim, private acting coach. Told him how to act like me. Anyways, I appreciate you listening, because this is it's really for myself as well. Like, there are people that says, we're still the only people that live in this entire universe. I go, that's over a Google's to one, that we're the only one out of a Google solar systems and planets and stars. There's Googles of them. Google is, you're thinking Google like what, the search engine? No, Google is the highest number. Well, there's Googleplex and then Google Plexian, which is the higher ones, which is basically 10 with Googleplexian zeros. Just gets, these are words that were brought up. That's where Google got their name, Google. But anyways, yeah. So at that point, it's just like you're dealing with somebody that has kind of pretty much faith that they're right. It doesn't matter. Like these are people. Like, I don't care about what your sexual preference is, but if you're thinking that men could have babies, it's like that's not reality. There hasn't been a man that gave birth, and just because you decide one day I'm a woman, you're not. You can't give birth, you can't menstruate, you still have male genitalia, and millions of Americans that were going against Trump all believe that. It's like, well, why don't we go with facts? I'm doing statistics. The statistically that in order for someone to say coincidence to be right would be, minimum 442 zeros. 4 trillion to 1. Right? And the actual full number is actually written on I had it calculated out by a PhD mathematician, and Siswanto. I took Zumba class up there. So it was kind of funny. I was taking Zumba class up there. She's very pretty. Uh, I think she's Cambodian. And she has a master's degree and a PhD in math. And she's a teacher at, I'm sorry, professor at ELAC. And I'm taking Zumba class with her. And one day she looks at me and she goes, "Would you like to go in the jacuzzi with me?" And I first went, "No, I gotta go home. With my I'm thinking my kids are there, right?" So, and I'm driving out. I'm going, how often is somebody gonna invite you to be in a jacuzzi with them? A girl, a woman. It was very attractive, by the way. And I went, okay. So I grabbed my shorts because I don't live that far. Drove back. And went in and got in the jacuzzi with her. She was in the jacuzzi at LA Fitness. And then I think we got out of the jacuzzi. She has a dress on, like a blue short dress. Sexy. I think it was that day. She goes like, "Do you want to have lunch?" I go, "Yeah, okay." Oh, actually, she asked me that in the jacuzzi. So I was like, "You want to have lunch?" I go, "Yeah, okay." So when she comes out, I'm wearing my gym clothes, Zumba clothes. It's all like baggy, and it actually kind of looks like this. But anyways, I'm wearing my gym clothes. I'm sweating. She comes out in this blue hot dress, bright blue dress, short dress, with heels and everything. I'm like, "Oh, you're dressed. Okay. Where are we gonna go?" I go, "Oh, why don't we go to that dim sum place on Atlantic and Garvey?" And I go, "I'll meet you there. I'm gonna change." So I go back, put a suit on, and my Japanese suit, and I show up. I didn't have a suit on. Maybe I had the jean pants, but the uh, a my black coat on. And I go and I meet her, and we sit down. I go, "Okay, so what's going on?" She goes, "I just left my husband 2 weeks ago." I'm like, okay. So we're talking. She goes, we're not dating. I go, okay. I'm thinking, I wasn't planning on dating you. You're the one that asked me into the jacuzzi and then lunch. And we had lunch, afterwards too and stuff. But yeah, I mean, we stayed in contact. But she helped me calculate the coincidence thing. And she happened to meet somebody. That was another person that when I meet them, they happen to meet somebody and they're together. She moved in with him, so happy for her. And I met him, and she introduced me to him, and you know, uh, she's like, I won the jackpot. I got her. I go, yeah, she's great. So, yeah, that's another one, relationship kind of person. I didn't think about that. Yeah. I'm not a matchmaker. I was just like, I wasn't there like, oh, you should date this guy. But when I get involved with somebody, they immediately find the love of their life. It's funny. Okay. I'm kind of went a little long here, so I'm gonna shut that off. And I appreciate you listening to this, but I really need someone to know this. It's referencing coincidence and the odds of getting that correct. The woman that calculated it out for me is a mathematician, doctor, professor, PhD. She calculated it out. In order for somebody to be correct that this is a coincidence, that 30 things match up, and they're not random things, they are specific, it's 4 trillion to 1. Doctor. The one I was in the jacuzzi with and had dim sum at Ocean Star. 5-star restaurant, by the way. It's the only 5-star restaurant in Monterey Park. Singing Valley. All right. I will talk to you later. Thank you for listening. Bye.